Hi, everybody. Welcome to Badge Banter, where we feature some awesome stories from our incredible channel partners about real life applications for photo ID badges and how they serve as the foundation for an organization's overall security efforts. I'm Lindsay Martin-Nez from Badge Pass, and today we've got Raenada Leonard from IdentiSys with us. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Lindsay.
Well, I'm so excited for you to share your story with us today, but before we do that, why don't you tell us a little bit about your role at IdentiSys and what IdentiSys does?
Sure, thank you. I am a regional sales representative with IdentiSys, and that means I primarily cover the Eastern Seaboard. We tend to focus more on a consultative approach where we actually work hard to understand the customer's needs first, and then we tailor a solution to them secondary. IdentiSys is a full service identification, security, and tracking solutions provider. When you think of an ID solution, it encompasses so many things. You've got hardware and software, you've got visitor management, we have MFA authentication, we have mobile and digital IDs that have come out. We also support our end users with training, configuration, and annual phone support. IdentiSys does it all.
Awesome. Well,
I have one other thing to say. I'm so sorry.
No, go for it.
This month, marks a milestone, a significant milestone for our company. It's our 25th anniversary.
That's exciting. I didn't know that. IdentiSys has
is.
been a partner of Badge Passes for years, but I am excited for y'all. That's awesome. I'm
Thank
sure
you.
y'all have a celebration. Well, let's kind of dive into your story. So before we got together, you had shared a really cool story about one of your customers and how they use the ID for multiple things within their facility.
Yes, I actually have a large food manufacturing customer, and their facility is like around 200,000 square feet, so it's big. And visual identification for management was critical. They wanted to understand where their employees are. They wanted tracking. They actually had a temp agency in-house too. So you had workers as well as, or I should say employees, as well as temp workers. And so again, management, when they went out onto the floor, they wanted to be able to tell who was what. They had a huge problem with the workers taking long breaks, frequent breaks, and they also had an issue where workers were sneaking in guests like to the cafeteria or to the break room, so it was a safety issue as well. So we talked about their current environment, and they were using key fobs for door access, but no ID badges. So looking at combining the door access into a prox card so that they could also track and have the visual ID component was a good fit for them. We got them some sample prox cards. They tested it with their door access system and it worked beautifully. We always ask our customers how they're going to wear those badges. And in this case, because you're looking at food manufacturing, you have an OSHA regulation component that most companies don't have. And what that means is if you wear a lanyard, that lanyard could get caught in that machinery and cause worker injury. There's also the issue of contamination. It could fall into the food product, gets out to the consumer unbeknownst to the manufacturer, and then it's a big liability on their part. So our solution was armbands, and they would wear them on their uniform sleeve. And because the visual component was important, we suggested running a colored stripe using two colors, one for the workers or the the employees, and one for the temps. So it would give them that ability as well. Our customer actually contracted with a third-party IT company, and they were very impressed that we were able to align our customer, certified customer engineer with their IT and gave them a very compliant solution that was very cost effective as well for them.
So I've got two things I want to touch on that you just told in that story. So the first one you were talking about, they were using key fobs, and I'm sure this kills you on a daily basis too, as much as it drives me nuts. But I can't even tell you how many times we run into a customer and they have an access control system that they purchased from someone, and whoever the integrator was that sold them that system just, threw in key fobs with that, which is fine. Like, they do work. I mean, they open a door. But then there's no visual component to it, and there's nothing, to stop me from carrying your key fob in and using that to gain access to something. I mean, granted, you could do that with a visual photo ID as well, but at least there's something visually on it that says, if you see me wearing your badge, like, I'm obviously not you. So I think that that's great, because switching them to a card, I mean, really, when you look at like the cost per credential, it's not that significant of a difference between a key fob and a printable ID badge. And I think there's a misconception sometimes that that's going to be significantly pricier. And usually, I mean, it's really not. It's an affordable switch.
It's a great point. Yes.
So love that. And then the armbands, I think, is so interesting. I had Chris Ciccone on here from Brady People several sessions ago, and we talked about ID accessories, which not a lot of people think about in the security industry, but how you wear an ID can be so different based on the vertical. And he had shared a story of a hospital, and they had these really cool light up lanyards, which were awesome for that environment. And they could, if like someone was busy and didn't need to be interrupted, like if they were counting medications, so people knew, hey, like this is important, don't interrupt this person. But a lanyard, as cool as that might be, would be the absolute worst thing that you could have put into this manufacturing facility for all the reasons that you said. And so, I think that just speaks to the importance of thinking about it big picture, as in terms of what's most important to that customer, and not just throwing in an ID solution that, just works turnkey anywhere. Like, they all have to be customized, from the accessories to what the badge looks like to how they're using it, based on whatever that customer's needs are.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool business, I have to say.
Well, I think so too. So, thank you so much for hopping on today and sharing your story with all of us. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Well, that's it for this time. Until next time, we hope you'll join us as we take you beyond the badge.